Hello, everyone. Thank you in advance for listening to this episode. I just wanted to give you a little warning that I had a bit of a moment just before the recording of this episode and somehow managed to not plug my microphone in. So don't ask me how. I do this for a living. I didn't have my headphones on and I was just monitoring it through the computer speakers, and I didn't do my usual checks because we were just sort of like getting straight into it. Anyway, I just wanted to warn you because bad audio is just such a no-no for us. We get a bit frustrated when we listen to videos that don't have great audio, and you might be wondering, well, why didn't you just re-record it? Well, there was just too many golden moments in here, and we are Unfluencers Anonymous. We are real. We are trying to be as authentic and capturing the flaws and the mess ups and the mix ups along the way. So yeah, we just wanted to be real, but also just wanted to warn you that Dave sounds like a champion and Sarah sounds like a robot. And that's going to be what it is. But thanks for listening and enjoy this episode.
It's shifting your mindset from I wish I was this to I am this. Like, who am I becoming? What do I want to become? But having that end goal or that end picture as something in my mind that has happened.
Rather than feeling like life is pushing you around and you are who you are, it's like, no, I'm actually creating this being that I want to be. If you have that mindset of everything's so hard, everything's always hard, we have been so unaware of how powerful our thoughts are for so long.
And look, I have to admit I struggle with that a hell of a lot. I'm getting better at it because I can't afford not to.
Exactly, that's the thing. And this world has always been a fast-moving machine, but it's moving so much faster now. But we need healthy, healed, aware humans on social media because we want to shift that beautiful power that social media has to a positive, to shift humanity into the place that we want it to be.
When did running a business start feeling like 2 full-time jobs?
You signed up to do what you love, but somehow you're also expected to be a full-blown content creator, editor, copywriter and social media guru. We get it. I'm Dave.
I'm Sarah. We actually make content for a living, but even we've been guilty of totally neglecting our social media.
That's why we started this podcast, to figure it out with you.
From filming tips on any budget, to quick hacks that stop content creation from eating your life, to real talk about the overwhelm and the inner work required to show up in a confident way on camera.
We're in the trenches with you. This is Unfluencers Anonymous.
Your survival guide to creating content without losing your sanity.
Let's do this together.
Woo! Today we are talking about future self broadcasting, and I'm really excited about this because I have been doing this for the last couple of months, and Dave can attest that it has been changing my entire nature, the way I do things, the way I think, the way I create. So we are going to be talking about how to actually step into your future self and start creating from that space, and how powerful it is. It's going to quantum leap you into the life that you want. And then we're going to end with a couple of methods to get you moving into that state today. So, how you going, David? What's cracking?
I'm cool. 2 methods at the end of this. I'm cool because I rule.
Yeah, we're back into the rap game. Yeah, excellent.
Ja rule.
So what do you think about when we talk about future self-creation, Dave?
Future self-creation. It's like... well, it's basically believing that what you want has already happened. It's shifting your mindset into from I wish I was this to I am this. And it's also, I suppose, mapping out what you want to be, what you want to look like, what you want for your future, but in a few years from now. And, you know, it doesn't have to be 20 or 30 years, even though the longer the better. Don't want to create anxiety either by going too far ahead. But like right now, you know, for me, probably looking forward to, say, 5 years ahead, 4 years ahead, and going, okay, where do I want to be? And I can always reevaluate as I go along, but as long as I have a solid image of what I want to be in a few years' time, like who am I becoming? What do I want to become? But having that end goal or that end picture as something in my mind that has happened.
Yeah, that you're living now and you're actually creating that version of you rather than feeling like life is pushing you around and you are who you are. It's like, no, I'm actually creating this being that I want to be. The only thing that I have to disagree with though there
No,
is, and
please.
this is, I just learnt this the other day. So I was on the same page where you were saying the further away the better. If anything, we need to have massive goals for ourselves, but bring the timeline a lot closer. Because when you have a massive goal for yourself, like becoming a certain version of you,
Yeah.
someone who's really successful in business, who has a really thriving, healthy relationship and family and a healthy body and all of these things, and you tell yourself, yeah, I'm going to be there in 10 years or 15 years,
Yeah.
what pressure, what incentive do you have to do something about
Yeah.
it
Yeah. I
today?
see what you're
You know what I
saying.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is something that I've learned actually from Dr. Benjamin Hardy. His book, The Science of Scaling, is a new one that he's written recently. And that really resonated with me, where he's talking about creating massive goals, what
Right.
he calls impossible goals, and then setting a time frame that seems, completely impossible. But the thing that happens psychologically as soon as you do that is you have to act like a different person. You can't be playing the game that you've always played if you now have this huge goal that's looming really close ahead. So you have to actually become the person who can achieve that goal today. And that's the power of future self broadcasting and creating the version of you that you want to be. It will happen sooner than you can even imagine. Because as soon as you actually genuinely believe yourself to be in those shoes of that future thriving version of you, you start acting differently. Your behavior changes, your decisions change. All of the things that you might have said, I won't rush it. I'll just take my time with this, or I might have an extra chocolate here or there, or I might, have an extra drink, or these sorts of little decisions, they just go out the window.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that happening with me lately, and it's been blowing my mind because I've even given this version of me 2.0 a name, and I'm not going to share that name because that's for me, my own personal knowledge. But when I think about that version of me and I have that name in my head, I think, would so and so do this? Well, no, she wouldn't. She'd put a boundary up here. She would do this. She wouldn't have time to think about that. She wouldn't, be worried about these little fear-based ideals. And suddenly I'm finding I'm elevating in every area in my life really quickly. And it just feels natural. It's not like a surprise to the system. It's kind of like, yeah, this is who I am. I am her now. She is me.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, I can think of a few names, but we won't mention them here.
I'm sure you could. They're all
Ra is one. Ra, of course, Ra is the goddess of
Do you
Ra.
know how annoying you are? Do you know
Was that?
why?
Did I get it?
That's it. It's okay. It's really not a secret. It's for me. You know what I mean? Like, so when I say, yeah, Ra would do this, it's the second half of my name. It's what Dave calls me anyway. And so that's hilarious. I love that. I love that. That's so funny.
I'm in your head. I'm in your head. Am I yelling again? I'm in your head.
So I've tried to ask Dave to not scream into the mic, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll have like a little ding on the side of the screen every time he goes, "Rah!" And then the peaks. But no, that's
Oh dear.
hilarious. And it's fine. It is what
But
it
it
is.
makes sense. It makes sense.
It does. It's a very easy name for me to remember because it's
Yeah.
already half of my name. And it's just a different version of me. So I go, Ra would not do that. She wouldn't do that. No. And it's just, yeah, it's a visceral feeling. It's really
Yeah.
exciting. And Dave, please speak, without me prompting you, but tell everyone what you've experienced of me the last 2-3 months.
Oh, crazy, crazy, crazy. Should we tell people what Ra means, who Ra is?
Well, sure. Yeah, the sun god.
Over to you.
I mean, it has many different meanings from ancient wisdom traditions. Egyptian times, Ra was the sun god. It also has meaning to do with your solar plexus. It is known when you're doing internal alchemy, such as rising Sekhem energy from your base chakra up into your crown chakra, which is a very powerful form of alchemy that is bolstering your car body, which is, we're going on a tangent now, but
Yeah.
your car body is the etheric or spiritual double of your actual body. And when you can bolster the strength and energy of this car body, that's when you become magnetic. So it's all linking back into manifestation techniques and being able to create the destiny that you want to create. But Ra is also known as the solar plexus sun, like the sun within the body. And when you do this certain alchemy in a correct manner, There's many different steps to it, which we won't go into, but that sun is actually known to rise naturally up into the crown of the head, and then it sets off a chain reaction to create some amazing things. But that's a very spiritual understanding. So for those spiritual folk just like us out there, you'll probably go, yeah, I
Look
already
it up.
know.
Yeah, look it up. We mean car as in KA. So if your car body
Yeah.
needs work, you don't go to a panel beater.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
KA,
yeah.
yes.
Just thought I'd clarify. But what I've seen with you, it's funny actually because I haven't really seen much of you
That's
in the
true.
last
Very
probably
true.
month or so because you've had your head down and bottom up reprogramming and replanning and rescheduling the future of, I suppose, your goals, meeting your goals. I shouldn't say the future of this company is involved in that, but more importantly, you've basically set the bar at a different level, and it's really been fantastic to see the energy you've found. Because I thought you were working at is it?
Capacity.
Max
Maximum
occupancy. What's your name? Max occupancy. Anyway, I thought you were working at maximum, but I don't know where you've sort of gone up another few gears, and even the hours. Like I'm getting emails at crazy hours from Sarah saying, have a look at this, run your eyes over this, or you're fired, or things like that.
I've realized I don't need you anymore.
Yeah, you're a dead weight to me. You're a dead
Kidding.
weight.
No.
So yeah, I've noticed a massive shift, and I see that's because of you've reset your goals, and what you're basically doing is looking at who you're becoming, which is actually a sentence I borrowed from you, and basically you're working on your future self. It's evident not just in the work relationship that I've noticed with us, but it's obvious in other aspects of your life too.
Yeah, it
So
feels,
not just the physical, but the
no.
mental and the spiritual as well. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
absolutely.
You're off the charts. I can't keep up with you.
It is a bit crazy. Like you said, I thought I was working at maximum capacity as well. And it's literally gone up like 10 levels. And that's just amplifying the truth behind what we're always saying to people, which is when you're doing work that is in complete alignment with your goals,
Yeah.
your values, who you are at your core, and where you want to be, it's not work. It's like, it's joy. It's so much fun. Like
Yeah.
I am waking up so early and getting, like I have my morning routine still, but I'm getting straight into work where I used to sort of, have a big gap in between my morning routine and then work. And then I would clock off at a very specific time and be like, Dave, don't contact me. I'm off the clock. And now I've sort of got to let him know, ignore the emails that come through late at night and early in the morning because I don't expect anyone else to be this psycho.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
great.
And just to clarify, like if anyone knows Sarah, they know her workload and her work ethics. So her work ethics and workload prior were pretty much off the charts compared to most people anyway. So this has just gone whooshka. It's great. I love it. We pay one wage and get the work of 4 people. Fantastic.
Exactly.
Thank you, universe.
Yeah, and with AI involved now, it's like I've got my own assistant and everything. It's great. We're achieving mountains over here. But yeah, that's the power from my own experience of stepping into not just going, oh, I wish I could be that, but actually painting the full picture of what that person is and then stepping into that position and living from it every single day with every single decision. And this is where excellence comes into it. And this is something that's just playing around in my head all of the time. I was listening to an Emma Greed, I never know how to say her surname, Grede or Greed or something, but she's a very successful businesswoman in America. She's English, and she's always talking about excellence. And this is something that you and I talk about a lot, Dave, which is how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I already felt that and I believed in it, but it's sort of taken that up to as another level. As soon as I stepped into Ra, future self version, Ra is excellent. She just gets shit done. She knows what she needs to do. That doesn't mean she's a workaholic either. She values her work-life balance. She values her health above everything and her sleep and her rest time and all of those sorts of things. But it means that even when I'm doing little things like the dishes or vacuuming or something, I will move that chair that in the past maybe I didn't move. Maybe I just vacuumed around it. Now I'm picking it up to get every single bit. I'm doing the extra mile, and that sort of then translates into the gym and into work and into our podcast and into my music and all of the things I'm learning. And
Yeah. It's pretty much it's a process of manifestation, really, when you look at it.
it
And I
really,
know you've got some faves that you.
oh yes, manifestation ended up being, I mean, it still is. It's something that I listen to all the time from different teachers. But as soon as I started listening to that, it just made so much sense from the right teacher. There's obviously a lot of
Yeah.
teachings at the moment where everyone's sort of talking about manifestation. We're not going to go into it in too much depth today, but there are.
But I know you've mentioned like Esther Hicks to me.
Esther Hicks
Who
is
are
an
some of the others?
So Esther Hicks is actually a unique one because she is channeling beings from a different realm, different dimension. They call themselves Abraham as a collective.
That's
And
right.
the information that comes through her, she does talks all around the world. And I mean, she's still doing it to today, which is amazing. She's been doing it for probably 30 years or something. All of the wisdom that comes out of her is fantastic. Joseph Murphy, Dr. Joseph Murphy, I think he passed away like 1920s, 1930s or something like that. I could have that a little bit off, but his book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, is amazing, and that's a lot more science-based.
Yeah.
Some people like more spiritual, some people like more science. I really love, my favorite two are Bob Proctor. Most people who have looked into manifestation would have heard of him. He's just this rugged guy who grew up with nothing, who looked around at people who had so much and were thriving. Bless you, bless you.
Sorry.
That was a double up. And he basically was sort of like, why can't I have what they have? What's missing? What's the difference? He was looking around at his suburb and sort of going, it's not a locational thing. There can be rich people and poor people in the same area. It's not that. It's not, a weight thing. It's not what is this thing that's making these people successful? And
Yeah.
he basically was just an excellent, excellent student. So again, coming back to excellence, he would read a book for like 20 years over and over and over again to embed it into his head so solidly. The first book he got into was Think Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So that was one of the biggest manifestation books that came out in first half of the 1900s, I think. And that one changed the lives of many people. If you want to look into that, just look it up.
This is nothing new.
No, none of this is new. Again, I mean, all of this sort of stuff was spoken about in ancient Egypt and all of those previous times and stuff. We're just now tapping into it, and we're now starting to see the power that we have within ourselves to create the life that we actually want. But Neville Goddard, I have to say, is my absolute favorite. He's just such an amazing orator. He's such a great speaker. The analogies he can pull from religion, from spirituality, from science, and pull it all together to make you understand the power of your subconscious mind to create the life that you want is incredible. And I'm noticing there's a really big trend of people listening to his work now. Like there are so many different channels that are basically regurgitating the same talks that he's done over the years. He passed away, I think, 60 years ago or something. But highly recommend. So Bob Proctor, Neville Goddard, Dr. Joseph Murphy, and Esther Hicks are four that are really great to at least start with if you want to look into this.
So who was the one before that? There was one you mentioned. Was that he was a doctor?
That was Dr. Joseph Murphy. He's in that list. But I do also want to mention Bashar. Bashar is another one like Esther Hicks who's channeling an interdimensional being, but the information that comes through him is fantastic. Like
this stuff ain't hocus pocus. This is science-backed stuff. This is stuff that we've known about for eons, but for whatever reason, it should be something that's intuitive and part of our psyche, but it's not. And like I say, for whatever reason, whether we're not meant to be as in...
There's been a big movement over the last 1,000 plus years for disempowerment of the species. And now we are waking up as a civilization. It's that time where, they call it the Great Awakening, where we are ascending in our consciousness. And all that means is that more information is being held in our head. And when you have more information, you have more awareness and you can make better decisions and you can do things differently. And all of this stuff, like you said, is very simple. It's very basic and it's all science-based. You can find all of this information from quantum physics. And Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this as well. He's a great great teacher on this.
I think there's a lot of confusion about some of the words we're using as well. Like people say quantum, the word quantum. You know, I mean, when I grew up, anything that had the word quantum in it was sci-fi or not real, although we know quantum is real. And also I think people have this, sorry, I say people, I'm talking about probably my era, that this stuff is all just hocus pocus. It's not the real deal. However, we've proven that your mind is not separate to the rest of you. It's all part of the one self, and that it is connected. So it's not a dream that if you wish for something, and you read all these stories about based on, oh, you wish for something, and you know, you see these feel-good movies where someone wishes for something and it comes true. That's actually how it works, but it's not just wishing, and you've got to put in the work. I think that's the difference.
That's definitely key. And again, this is where we come back to what we're talking about today, being acting from your future self.
Yeah.
You're certainly taking action. It's not you sitting back doing nothing, just dreaming and wishing. You are figuring out, you're creating with your imagination, with your creative mind, you are figuring out exactly what you want to be, what being you want to be in, you know, just call it the future. You don't have to put an exact timeline on it, but if you could be anyone now, what would that be? And when you start acting from those shoes, it's just a game changer. It's like one thing that I did for a little while, which I think helped me to step into these shoes, was every day I would write in my journal in the morning the version of me who is grounded, powerful, and free. And now I would write a full page, and it would be anything from, you know, she eats these sorts of foods, she doesn't partake in these kinds of conversations that are based in fear and gossip, she always respects her parents. Like, it could be anything. But just by doing that every single day, I was tapping into that energy of the future version of me. And that was a really helpful exercise as well.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, sorry, I got caught up in your story there.
No, that's all good.
I think the biggest thing I've learned about it is that the mind can't tell the difference. Is that if you set in your mind, and it's not easy to start with, because I believe that you need to regain control of your mind. I don't think we truly control our minds.
That's such a huge, really important point, and that's what Bob Proctor talks about a lot, one of those teachers I mentioned earlier. He's constantly talking about the paradigm that you are living from, because we are, and Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this as well, we are just, by the time you're 35, you're basically just a set of patterns, set of habitual actions. You're on autopilot, something happens, you react a certain way, you have these complete like systems that are just locked in. And that's what happens when you're not consciously aware of who you are, of where you want to be, of how you're acting, and you're just living this monotone sort of existence because that's all you've ever known. But now, like I said, we're getting into this time where we're starting to question things. That's the biggest thing that's happening. We're all questioning more things because a lot of things that we thought were permanent are not so permanent anymore. And everything is shifting so quickly, and, you know, AI and technology and even social media, it changes every week almost. Like, it just completely iterates constantly. And so everyone's kind of starting to question, well, what is possible then? If all of these things that I was told wasn't possible actually seem to be possible now, what's possible for me?
Yeah. I think people need to, you know, and the word woke has been overused, but people need to awaken from the slumber, because I think we find in terms of society, even in society, what you were saying then, all those traits you mentioned, those traits are the traits of good leaders. And I think good leaders are born through adversity, where they are challenged, where they're not, you know, expecting the world to be a certain way. They're planning, not so much for the negative, but for the positive. They're planning ahead. They're setting goals. This is all we're really preaching today, is that your future self-creation will actually also make you a better leader.
Absolutely.
And I think we lack leaders because everyone's thinking the same. The leaders of today are, you know, they're all pretty cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying the same things, doing the same things.
Yeah.
No one's really thinking outside the square. And sadly, the system doesn't allow for it. When
Yeah.
you're a leader, you're often not in the position long enough to be able to follow through on things that you want to do. But I think the traits you're mentioning are those of good leaders.
And that's a really good point that you brought up, that the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between
No.
what's real and what's imagined. And that is such a gift that we haven't been aware of for such a long time. Again, yes, all of these teachings have been around for eons, but they haven't been in the forefront of media. Now they are, because YouTube's more popular than TV. So people
Yeah.
are listening to these teachers because the information and the wisdom that they have is so mind blowing, and it's waking people up to what's possible. But if you can imagine yourself so viscerally that you have this electromagnetic charge, the imagined state is the electric element, and then the emotion that you attach to that, you're feeling expansive, you're feeling powerful, you're feeling aligned, you're feeling happy, blissful, joyful. That emotion is the magnetic element. And when you have created an electromagnetic field based on this imagined version of yourself in a heightened emotion, you become this magnet for all of the things that you are trying to attract. And that's when this manifestation journey becomes more of a flow and less of a pulling uphill sort of vibe all the time and feeling like everything's going against you.
Yeah.
Because again, like if you have that mindset of everything's so hard, everything's always hard, we have been so unaware of how powerful our thoughts are for so long. So we've been
Yeah.
allowing ourselves to live in these negative states and on a
Yeah.
loop. So you're not only living in a negative mindset, but you're looping that, and it regenerates itself quicker and quicker and bigger and faster constantly, to the point where you just go, what's the point? Everything's too hard.
Yeah.
I'm never going to make enough money. I'm never going to be this. I'm not good enough. And all of these patterns start to show up that prove that to be true, because that's where your focus is. But when you start to focus on this beautiful version of yourself who is healthy, who is thriving, who is just pure love, who is succeeding in business endeavors and doing all the things they want to do to impact the world in a positive way, you start thinking those thoughts,
Yeah.
you start believing it. Your mind doesn't know that that's not real. So it starts bringing into your reality all of the things that prove that to be true. And
Yeah.
that's when you get synchronicities.
Yeah, really got to challenge yourself, because it's so easy, and it's not your fault that often it's not your
No.
fault that you're in that negative mindset to begin with, and don't believe that these things can happen to you. You know, you don't believe that you deserve these things. So there's a bit of psychological sort of warfare going on within your head, but you got to get that out of you do have to get that out of your head, and you can't beat yourself up for being negative to start with. You just have to make that shift and believe it can happen, and it will, and it does. 100%. I want to go back a step. Some of the masters that you've mentioned, I mean, for me, I'm not into, audiobooks or I'm into podcasts. But, like, how do you know who's real and who isn't? Like, there are so many
Yeah.
masters out there.
Yeah. At the end of the day, once you listen to a few really good ones, you start to see the core themes, and you realize they're all saying the exact same thing through a different lens, through a different perspective. And when you find someone who isn't saying that, they stick out like a sore thumb, really, because you get the fundamental principles, which we've already spoken about today, most of them, which is, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between false or imagined. We also need to understand that our thoughts, our imagination is actually the seed of creation. And that sounds like such a woo-woo statement term. That is one of the most powerful things that you could accept and know to be true, because it is true. Think about anything that's been created. Look around you in your room. Look at this light that's in front of you, this camera, this lens, this microphone. Every single thing you see has first lived in someone's imagination. Looking around for interesting things.
Yeah.
It didn't fit inside someone's head when it was this big, but it was a seed in someone's mind first.
Yeah.
So when you start to understand the power of your imagination, we've also, another form of programming we've been through, all of us as a civilization, is we've been told for so many years that imagination is for children. And that is just so blasphemous. That is so against what we are as creators. Our imagination is the gift that we've been given to create the world that we want to live in. But when you are shut down in so many ways because you have to work a job you hate. You feel stuck in a system that doesn't support you. You feel like you're just a cog in the wheel, just another number. You don't feel significant. You don't feel like you have purpose. How easy would it be in that state to think, I can imagine things and they can come true? It's not easy. You think that's absolute bullshit because you're in such a low vibrational place that you just can't accept that to be a reality. And this is where we are talking about constantly. This is where you and I come in, Dave, is we're trying to help people with content, with social media content creation, because we understand that content, social media in general, can shift cultures. But we want to help people to heal themselves first before they show up online, or simultaneously as they're showing up online and sharing their healing journey. But we need healthy, healed, aware humans on social media, because we want to shift that beautiful power that social media has to a positive, to shift humanity into the place that we want it to be. So it's, again, comes back to understanding yourself, aligning with your true nature, and manifestation and all of these, things. There are so many teachers that will explain it so much better than myself, but I highly recommend finding a few and, figuring out who resonates with you most. But you will feel it in your bones when it's true. Truth resonates. What is true will always be true. And I mean that in a sense of like universal laws, and the sun, will always rise. Like things like that. I'm not saying like little beliefs, because beliefs change and systems change. But the things that are true, like from the beginning of time, true, they are resonant. You're feeling that when you're hearing it.
Yeah, people feel it in their gut, you just know. But the other thing is that there's probably a lot of people listening or watching and saying, well, I don't have the time for that. I can't afford the time. Well, let me tell you can't afford not to. Because
that's so true.
Yeah, literally. I mean, there are people that will just always be in that slumber and they're happy being there. This isn't for them.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not ready to change, you're not ready to change. But as soon as you are ready to change, you'll start looking at things in your life like your screen time. How many hours are you investing of your precious life per day into scrolling at other people's content? You could be spending some of that time listening to an audiobook. And I mean, audiobooks have been game changers for me, because I was that person a few years ago. I don't have time for this and that. But guess what? I have time to go for a walk. I have time to cook my food because I need to eat. I have time to, make the bed and vacuum and all these sorts of things. All of those things I'm doing, I can put earpods in, or I can just have my phone sitting there and I can be listening to these books or YouTube talks, seminars, all sorts of amazing speeches from amazing people, where you're getting, like, a book is so precious because you're getting someone's wisdom from their entire life in a short, whether it's, a 2 hour, a 3 hour, a 9 hour piece. Are you right over there? Just slowly dying. It's all
No, but yeah, spot on. And look, I have to admit I struggle with that a hell of a lot. But I'm getting better at it because I can't afford not to.
Exactly, that's the thing. And this world has always been a fast-moving machine, but it's moving so much faster now. And we all are so aware of the fact that within the next 3 to 5, 7 years, millions and millions of jobs are going to be gone to AI and robots. So this is the time, if ever there was a time, to start working on our inner health, our mental health, our awareness of how powerful we are and valuable we are, not to attach ourselves to our identities being what our jobs are, and actually knowing that we have value in other ways.
Yeah, let's just strike fear into the heart of everyone, Sarah. Yeah.
Truth is not always easy.
Just kidding. JK, just kidding.
Dave's still in people pleaser mode. We're trying to break this. Ra has broken this. Sorry.
Yeah, so as well as picturing in your mind's eye and I'm using the word mind's eye, but you guys know what I'm saying, as well as trying to picture what you want to be in a few years' time, what are some other ways, obviously, on the mind? Do you, with you, Sarah, do you write this stuff down? Do you put it on a whiteboard? What sort of, everyone's different. I suppose I'm visual. We were talking about some stuff yesterday, which you've had to not storyboard it, but do a visual chart for me.
I have done all the things, and I have sort of gotten to the point where only a couple really work for me, but different things work for different people, right? So
Yeah.
I am a visual person as well. So one thing that I highly recommend to start with is that people create a mind movie, a manifestation movie, which is this was an idea that Joe Dispenza shared in his book Becoming Supernatural, and it's basically a series of images or video clips. It could be 30 seconds, a minute, 3 minutes, doesn't have to be too long, with
Hmm.
some really emotive music that's going to build your emotions to get you to that peak state where you're becoming an electromagnetic machine. And you're visualizing, you're seeing all these images that represent the person, the life that you want to be living, you want to be. And you watch that every day, morning and night, before, like, once you wake up and before you go to bed, because those are the most powerful times for you to manifest. Again, we're not going to get too deep into the states of the brain and all of that sort of stuff, but you can hear all of this from Neville Goddard and all of these other teachers. But that's one way. A vision board is another way, where you can basically have all of the things that you want, the new house or the holiday vacation destinations or the body and the types of foods that you want to eat. You put all of these pictures on a board, you have it sitting somewhere in front of you. So you've just got that constant reminder. Again, we're just reprogramming ourselves, and some ways work better than others. For me, affirmations are not very powerful. And it's because a lot of the time when you're saying something like, I am so rich, it's incredible. Well, your conscious mind kicks in straight away and disconnects that and just goes, well, no, you're not. No, you're not. And that then causes a bit of friction rather than this peace and this feeling of electromagnetic energy. So, something that I found recently, which is interesting, I think they're called affirmations, which is actually questions, which is something along the lines of,
Ah.
why do the most amazing clients I could imagine flow to me with ease every day? Why does my bank account keep filling up with so much money? I can't even believe it. And so your reticular activating system, the mechanism in your mind that's seeking to answer the beliefs that you have, is now kicking into gear, and it's trying to answer those questions by
Yeah.
showing you all of the things that are in alignment with that. So that's
Yeah.
a really powerful way, rather than affirmations just saying, I am, I am. You're now
Yeah.
saying, why is this happening? Or,
Yeah.
how is my life this incredible? All of these sorts of things. And it starts to really filter in beautiful
Yeah.
ways.
No, I think a lot of people probably know it, but don't want to accept the fact that we're being programmed anyway.
Mm.
So why not program yourself how you want to be, rather than let society or community or higher powers program you into something that is actually not helping you, and physically, mentally, spiritually.
Yep.
So, and again, this isn't hocus pocus. This isn't, we're not sort of, yeah, we're not on anything. This is truth.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So what do you think, Sarah? Some of the Sarah is Sarah, isn't it? What do you think some of the qualities? What are some of the qualities of your future self like, and what should you do with that? Like I know you've mentioned some of the things, how you like the reminders, like how you write them down or you create the movie thingamajig. I've been listening. I've been listening.
totally. No, this was more related to like that, when I was talking about how I wrote every day for a few months.
Yes.
The version of me who is powerful, grounded, and free does this. And you sort of
Yeah.
start to really create that version of yourself. And it could be qualities, could be things like they speak slower or they explain less, or, they trust their intuition more, or they
Yeah.
don't seek approval from other people. And even within this conversation, you and I both, I'll say you a little bit more than me at the moment because I'm flipping a gear. You keep justifying that we're not being too spiritual. We're not woo
Yeah.
woo. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
are what
Yeah.
we
Good
are.
point.
And there are some people who will think this is woo woo, and they'll just
Yeah, you're
and
right.
that's fine.
Actually, yeah,
You're not
I
alone.
suppose yeah, I'm justifying to people that have a bit more programming like myself,
Yeah.
which I
And
don't need to do because
yeah,
this may not resonate with them,
that's the thing. And
and
I
that's
get it. It all
fine.
comes from love. And you have such a big heart and you want everyone to feel on the same page. But at the same time, if people aren't ready to hear a message, they're not going to hear it even if it's slapping them in the face.
Yeah,
this sort of stuff, it's not woo-woo at all. It's all science. And,
Yeah.
you know, you can go and look that up for yourself, everyone. There is more than enough evidence out there in every single field of science you can imagine. And a few of those speakers that we mentioned at the start would be really powerful places to start, because a lot of them do incorporate a lot of science into their talks.
But also, like, you know, you've got the other creators that are probably more fear-based as well. So that's why I was asking earlier about, like, how do you choose the right creators? The creators that don't create, you know, from current problems and doubts and limitations and watching the news every day, and it's all obviously, you know, bad news sells. We all know that. So that's why, again, sorry, I asked about, like, so what you're saying is watch a few different people or listen to a few different people, see what resonates with you and try and find that common message throughout.
Yeah, exactly. It will all come back to the same few key things. And once you sort of listen to enough teachers, you'll start to figure it out for yourself and you'll find the things that work for you. That's the thing. And also,
Yeah,
we want to hear from you guys. If there are more topics that you want us to dive into on this, I mean,
yeah,
I could talk about this for hours. I'm trying not to go too deep at the moment, but we certainly can talk more about manifestation and future self creation and all of those sorts of things. But in terms of how to incorporate it into creating some really powerful
yeah, yeah,
content right now.
yeah. How does this relate to all of that?
Yeah, so we have a couple of practical methods because this relates to that in terms of you want to be creating the sort of content that is not stuck in the programmed beliefs of today. It's future facing, it's moving forward, it's empowering, and it's from your future self. When you're working from your future self who isn't fearful, who doesn't have a problem with people maybe judging them online,
Yeah,
who is completely like limitless and fearless, can you imagine how amazing your content's going to be? How good
yeah,
it's going to feel to create it? And how free you're going to be every time you make it. You're not going to be judging yourself and going, oh, did I do that wrong? Did I say that line wrong? Is Sally from the gym going to see this and judge me? Imagine all of that being gone. Well, the future version of you that you are creating now, that
mm,
you're going to step into their shoes of very soon,
mm,
is not afraid of any of those things. They
yeah,
know that they have their mission, their thing that they want to share with the world, the life that they want to create,
mm,
and they're going to do it fearlessly. They're going to be
yeah,
a formidable energy, and that's
yeah.
why it's so powerful for content creation.
And hi to Sally from the gym, by the way.
Hey, Sally!
You'll get your water bottle back next week. Um, but also, when you're doing that stuff, it feels right.
It feels
It
so
feels
good.
right.
I
'Cause-
mean, I can't remember the last time I felt so powerful myself.
yeah, yeah. Because I'm trying to think. Okay, people are listening to us, going, "What's this got to do with content creation?" Or, you know. But yeah,
Well, this
it's
is the thing. This is, sorry, I keep cutting over you,
no,
but
no,
this
no.
is
Please.
the point of difference that yes, we can talk about lighting and cameras and audio, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about the being that is on camera, the being, the human that is in front of the lens freaking out, the nervous system that is playing all these tricks on you that's making you feel like you're less than, when in fact it's actually just a mechanism fault that we can work through. We want people to be healed, healthy, happy, and confident in front of the
Yeah,
camera, but that doesn't come from someone just saying, be confident, smile. It comes from doing the inner work.
beans. That's right. Like anyone can talk to you about lighting and cameras, but we want to talk to you about beans.
I knew something was coming. God.
Oh, you laughed. You laughed, didn't you?
Yes, I did laugh. That was a real laugh as well. Good
So,
job.
what are some of the methods?
Okay,
Like,
so if you let me just cut over you again. Oh gosh.
I knew
Method number one, I love because this is what was that?
oh,
Um,
an unhealthy food alternative message.
oh, we're not there.
No, no, that's negative. We would
That's
never do.
old Dave. We're gonna give you a new name.
Don't know why my notifications are still coming through, but anyway.
Okay, so method number one is future self scripting, and this can be as short as 5 minutes a day. It could be even less if you need it to be.
Right.
But writing from your 20, what year are we in? 2026. Let's go
2020.
2030. So let's go
Yep.
writing from your 2030 self's perspective. So a few prompts, and you can obviously make up more of these, whatever resonates with you, but here's a couple of
Yeah.
ideas. Start with, here's what I wish I stopped overthinking sooner.
Yeah. Good one.
Or here's what actually mattered. You know, when I'm looking
Yeah.
back from my 2030 self to now, here's what actually mattered. Or here's how I see content creation now, you know, and really stepping into that way of thinking. It's not just about a physical thing, it's about thinking like that version of you
Yeah.
and understanding what's important, what's not. You do not want to be that person who's regretting 5 years from now going, I wish I'd started earlier.
Oh, yeah.
You just, that
Teach it
is,
to
you
you,
know,
rather. Sorry.
one form of embarrassment is that you're going to, you know, potentially feel like you're embarrassing yourself when you start making more content. But guess what? There's a worse form of embarrassment, and that is the embarrassment of looking back at your life and going, I didn't even try. I
Bloody
didn't
oath.
even
Bloody
have
oath.
the guts to give it a
Yeah.
go. I
And
would.
you know how much energy we waste on overthinking and worrying about
Mhm.
things that may never happen or haven't happened or happened?
Yeah.
Happened. 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 Or
They never
happened.
happened.
Yeah. Like, yeah, the energy you will free up will be amazing. You'll actually feel you've got more time. You'll
Yeah.
actually feel more energized. And yeah, you'll drink less coffee. Are they a
Yeah.
sponsor? No. Okay.
No
You'll
sponsors.
drink more fluid.
You will just be golden. And
Then
look, method two. What's method two, David?
method two is like preparing, being prepared. So when getting your voice, because everything is your word, right? So whatever you say, you've got to do. So before you record, you stand up, you drop your shoulders. I won't stand up because I'll get out of frame and my belly will be in the frame. But speaking of bellies, you drop your shoulder and you breathe into your belly, as Sarah is doing right now because I can't do it because I'm talking. And then basically you say a sentence as if you're speaking to yourself from your future self. So like Sarah mentioned 2030. So here I am, I'm in 2030, and I'm going to say a sentence like to myself, from myself, from 2030. So my thing would be, no, I'm not going to have the French fries. No? Is that...
Good decision. Yes, that's exactly right though. But you can pep talk yourself into the content that you're about to
Yeah.
make. So say you're about to create a video and you just need that extra boost of motivation. Guess
Yeah.
what? The future version of you is your biggest cheerleader, and you can tap into that version at any time. So just please remember that the fastest path to your future reality is to start broadcasting from it right now. You don't need to stop. It starts when you accept it and you believe that that is actually you. So it's exciting. This is exciting. It's time to
It
create
is, it is.
the version of you want to
Yeah,
be.
your pathway is your pathway. You choose it.
Yeah, exactly. You create it. It's like drawing on a canvas. You can give this version of you all of the qualities that you've ever idolized in someone. You know, this could be like the absolute God self version of you, just like fucking legend.
Yeah, change your relationship with the idea, or change your relationship with money, but change the ideology of wealth. We've been told wealth looks like this or that or whatever.
Yeah. I
Change
mean,
it.
future version of you, their belief could be that wealth flows to me effortlessly.
Yeah,
Wealth is a byproduct of all of the ways that I serve humanity for the better,
yeah.
you know? And that's it. Again,
And
you
yeah,
create where you want to be.
yeah, change what abundance looks like. I'm trying to fit in as many
Yeah,
buzzwords as I can before the end of the episode.
I think we're done here. We have gone on enough of a rant, but I love it.
We ain't started yet.
Yeah,
Where are we going?
this is the stuff that we're passionate about, though, because we want to see everyone being the best versions of themselves, and we want to see those versions of you all online. We want to, when we scroll
Yeah,
through our
yeah,
feed, we want to see all of you
yeah,
thriving, feeling good about yourselves, feeling confident.
yeah,
And we have a bunch of free resources that we'll link you to so you
yeah,
can start on that adventure today. But we really just hope that you're trusting
yeah.
yourselves and you can start creating the version of you that you want to be, because it's as easy as that.
Yeah, if you're thinking of posting, I haven't told Sarah this yet. If you're thinking of posting, hit us up. Like, show us what you've
Yeah.
got. We're not going to judge you.
No,
We're
we
not going
can
to
do some
critique you.
feedback if
Well,
you
we
want.
might critique you if you want us to. But yeah, hit us up.
And we will be creating more of a community space very soon where we can all sort of share different content pieces, and we can do challenges and exercises and have some fun with it, and really remember that we're not alone here. So many of us feel like we're alone in this content creation world.
Yeah.
And it's just not the truth. There's so many of us that feel isolated that once we start pulling us all together a little bit more, it's going to feel a lot more empowering. We're going to be excited to create content again. We're going to bring the joy back to content creation.
Yes.
All right.
Joy back into the honey joys. Love wire, like LimeWire, peer to peer.
What the F did you just say? You just said
Goodbye.
5 things that are like a different language. Fairly well. Cheers, old fellow.
Oh, sorry. Cheers.
Young fellow.
Cheers.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. We love you. Bye.